An Intermezzo is a chess tactic, also known as Zwischenzug in German, where one side plays a powerful intermediate move that catches the opponent off guard. Instead of playing the expected move, it introduces a surprising twist that forces the opponent to respond, often ruining their plans. For example, in this position, both knights are attacked. What can white do? Well, an intermezzo is what we need. Black is probably expecting us to move our knight or capture his knight, but instead, we play the shocking b4. The point is, both his pieces are attacked, and he really has to make a decision now. If he plays bishop into b4, then we play knight c2, and now not only have we saved our knight on e1, we have also attacked his bishop on b4, and now both his minor pieces are under attack, and once he saves one of them, we can capture the other, and we are winning. b4 is the only move that wins for white, as if white plays something like knight f3, then knight into d6 is in fact better for black. And if white decides to take the knight, then after bishop e1, this bishop ending is going to favor black, because white's d6 pawn is very hard to protect. For example, after bishop e3, b6, b4, king e8, b5, king d7, bc6, king c6, it's very hard to protect the pawn. Now that you know what an intermezzo is, we are going to solve 5 puzzles ranging from a difficulty ELO of 0, which is absolute beginner, to 2500, which is grandmaster level. So let's begin. Hey guys, my name is Ishan, and today we are looking at the tactical concept of intermezzo. Coming up on the screen is the first puzzle for today, which has a difficulty rating of 0 to 500 ELO. And here it is. White to play, pause the video and try to find the answer while I give you a couple of seconds. Well, I hope you found the answer. It's pretty easy. The correct move is rook into g6. The point is, if he takes either rook, we can take his other rook and we are 2 pawns up with a completely winning rook endgame. If he took our g6 rook, then we can take his c7 rook, and again, same situation, we are winning. The point was, we should not play rook c7 because then after king e6, it's very hard to convert this into a win, and black should be able to draw with perfect play. So why give him that chance? I hope you solved that. Let's move on to puzzle number 2. This position has a difficulty rating of 500 to 1000 ELO. White to play, pause the video and try to find the answer while I give you a couple of seconds. Well, I hope you found the answer. The correct move is in fact knight e4. The point is, black was expecting us to take on h8 as our rook is hanging, and that's the only way to not lose material. Or is it? Because after knight e4, even if he takes our rook, we can still take f6 and it's a fork. And in fact, the rooks cannot protect each other. So we can win a full rook along with this bishop that we won already. Black has a couple of options. He can try bishop g7, but that's just hanging the bishop, so that doesn't make sense. He can also try bishop e5, but after fe5, rook h7, knight f6, the same thing repeats and white is completely winning. Well, I hope you solved that. Let's move on to puzzle number 3. This position has a difficulty rating of 1000 to 1500. So things are really starting to get intense. It's white to play, pause the video and try to find the answer while I give you a couple of seconds. Well, I hope you did find the answer. The correct move is in fact rook into e6, a brilliant exchange sacrifice. But here's the truth. The brilliancy of this puzzle was not in finding rook into e6, it was in fact in finding black's defense to this move. Obviously, if black takes f into e6, then we can take queen into e6. And here's a line that the engine has showed me. King f8, queen e5, king f7, bishop c6, threatening bishop d5 check, queen d6, bishop d5 check, king e8, queen h8, king d7, queen into h7, rook b5, bishop into c4, rook c5. And in fact, here the computer doesn't even take bishop into c5. Queen f7, and in fact, the computer thinks that black's best move is to sacrifice the rook. And obviously, we are winning here. We are 4 pawns up. Nothing much to look at. So that's what happens if you take f into e6. The tough part was finding queen c8, which is in fact a pin. And now it seems like white cannot make any progress, because if you move the rook, the queen on g4 hangs. And otherwise he can take the rook on e6 for free. But here we play a brilliant intermezzo. Bishop d7, sacrificing the bishop to lure the queen onto the d7 square. This tactic is called a decoy, and if you haven't already, do check out my video where I talk about the decoy. If black doesn't take, then we can happily save our rook and claim the full piece. So black will have to take the bishop, but now we play rook into g6 check with a discovered attack on the black queen along with a check to the black king. So when he takes our rook, we can take queen into d7 and call it a game. This tactic is called a battery, and do check out that video also if you haven't already. Well, I hope you found this. Let's move on to puzzle number 4. This position has a difficulty rating of 1500 to 2000 ELO. So we're getting really close to that grandmaster point. It's white to play, pause the video and try to find the answer while I give you a couple of seconds. Well, I hope you did find the answer. The correct move is in fact the shocking g takes f6. Any normal player would have recaptured rook h1 and continued playing the game, right? But no, we played g into f6, a brilliant intermediate move. The point is, black will have to take our rook, or else we will take his rook and claim the full piece. So after rook d1, we play knight into d1. This is the point of the puzzle. We attack the queen on a5, and again he is forced to take, otherwise we can take g7 and promotion is inevitable. So he takes, and do we take the queen? No friends, we play f takes g7, threatening to promote to either a rook or a queen with checkmate. So black will try to run away with king d8, and now we play g8 queen, king c7, queen into b8, king into b8, bishop into d2, and we are 2 minor pieces up with a completely winning endgame. Wow, what a puzzle, right? And the best part was it was all forced. There were no variations. But the tough part was finding the idea that you can sacrifice the queen. Well, I hope you did solve that puzzle. Let's move on to level 5. This position has a difficulty rating of 2000 to 2500 ELO. So if you solve this, then you have solved a grandmaster level puzzle. It's white to play, pause the video and try to find the answer while I give you a couple of seconds. Well, I hope you did find the answer. The correct move is in fact rook e6 check. First thing first, the important thing was that you had to realize white cannot win here. The g2 pawn is too much of a threat for white to have any hopes of winning. The best white can achieve is a draw, and rook e6 is the first step in that aim. The point is, if black takes king into e6, then we can play knight d4 check, king d5, knight f3 and stop the promotion on g1. Black can try to get his king closer with king e4, but now we play knight g1. Black can try bishop d6 to play bishop h2 and drive our knight out, but we can play king e2. The point is, if you play f3, then after king e3, white is in zugzwang and black will manage to win the game because the knight does not have any escape squares. This is why we play king e2 first. And now if black plays something like bishop h2, then we can play even f3 check, king moves and king f2 should be a draw. This is why black tries bishop c5 in order to not allow f3 because then king f2 won't be possible. But now we can just play knight f3, keep going knight f3, knight g1, knight f3, knight g1 until he plays something like bishop h2 and we can secure the draw. So if he doesn't take king into e6, he can play king f7 as well. But this time white can even win with rook g6. Black will have to take the rook and now knight h4, knight g2 and white is up 2 pawns and if anyone can win, it's white. If he takes our rook, but now we play rook e5, continuing the decoy. If he takes our rook, then we can play f4, king takes and king f2. And after capturing the g2 pawn, we can safely claim the draw because the black bishop and king together cannot drive the white king out of the h1 square, which is not the same color as black's bishop. And any attempt to do so will result in a stalemate. This is why black tries to delay the end with king f4, but we can still force him to take rook g5. He has to take and now f4 check. King takes f4, king f2 and a few moves into the game, we can see that black cannot make progress. If he moves his king, it's a stalemate and otherwise he will have to move his bishop away from the g1 square and we can again keep alternating between king g1 and king h1 and claim a draw. Wow, that was a beautiful puzzle. But if you manage to solve this one as well, I have one final challenge for you. Upcoming is the bonus puzzle for today, which is probably even harder than Grandmaster level. And here it is. White to play, pause the video and try to find the answer. We will discuss the answer of this in the next video. So let's move on to the answer of the bonus puzzle from the previous video, which was battery. So this was the position and here white plays bishop c3 check. The point is the black king cannot move. Let's look at all his possibilities one by one. If he plays f6, then obviously rook a7 is a skewer and wins the black queen. If he plays king f8, then we play bishop f6, tying a mating net around the king. And to escape the threat of rook a8 mate, he will have to play king e8, but now we play rook d2, threatening rook d8 mate, which is in fact unstoppable. White wins. This is why after bishop c3, black can try king h6, but after rook h2, he can also try king g6, but now we play rook g2, and if he goes to the h file, then it's a skewer again, so he'll have to play king f5, but then rook g5 is an unfortunate checkmate. So you might think the puzzle is already over, but in fact you had to see e5, which was the best defense for black. After bishop takes e5, which is an obvious move, black can now play king g6, and if we play rook g2 now, then after king f5, rook g5, king e6, he can escape. This is why we must find the brilliant move rook h2, a absolute whopper. If he plays queen g8, then rook h8 is a beautiful queen trap, and if he plays queen into h2, then we unleash the battery with c4, king takes c4 and bishop h2, and white wins. That's it for today guys. I hope you liked this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe so I can keep making content like this. Till then, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.